What do you think some of the biggest mistakes you've ever made was?
Oh, man, that's a lot. Hanging out with the wrong people.
Yeah.
You know, I hung out with them because they accepted me. I was not accepted, and I always craved that to be accepted. So I hung out with the people that were at the very bottom and that were doing bad things because they accepted me. But I always seen people as who they treated me, and they treated me good, but it wasn't good for me to be in that situation or hang out with those people. It wasn't going to be good for my future.
Right.
But that was a mistake in doing that and being around it, but I learned from it, and I continued to get better. I got out of it. I continued to get better. Or treating people really badly out of anger, you know, and frustration, like throwing how I feel out onto other people, like blaming them. It's this person's fault, or fuck this person, or oh no, this person's stupid, like just throwing everything out on other people. I used to do that a lot, and I was doing it because I was scared to deal with my own emotions, my own vulnerabilities. And it's gotten to the point now, like, I'm almost the exact opposite now. Instead of dishing it out on other people, I will tear myself down sometimes, or I will just admit to myself, sometimes right in front of other people, like, yeah, I feel very insecure about myself. I'll just say it out loud. Like, I'm reminding myself.
Yeah.
And they're probably like, why is he saying that? Like, that's really weird to say.
Yeah.
Like, people don't say that. That's not normal. And I'm like, I'm doing it because if I don't say that, I'm going to lash out at this person. And I've done it so many times that I know that, all right, this is what I need to do so I don't do that. So I'll tell them, you know what? I'm just very insecure with myself. I'm not happy. And in result, I am treating you badly.
Yeah.
I'm honest with them. And then they look at me and then they're like, they respect me, and they want to, it's like the opposite. They don't look at me like badly. They don't feel sorry for me. Like, wow, like you're a weak person. And that's how I always thought they would look at me.
Yeah.
In return, it's like they admire it and they give you maybe another chance, or they're nicer to you, or the conversation that could have went so the let's say you were arguing with someone and it was getting really bad, and it was, you know, the time where it's going and it's getting bad, and there's a time period you can't go back. It just gets so bad that, you know, you can't go back and change it.
Yeah.
But there's a time frame where that stops and you could change it. And I've known that, okay, I have to be honest with myself. And when I'm honest with myself, I notice that people respect it.
Yeah.
You know, people respect it. And I find that, you know, I don't want to be a mean person. I don't ever want to make people feel that way. So I will admit my wrongdoings or how I'm feeling, because it reminds me that everything's okay. It's fine. You know?
Yeah.
People, they're kind of like, what the fuck? But they're like, okay, like, yeah, like, that's not normal. People don't usually do that, but I think it showcases strength.
Absolutely.
It does.
I mean, you show someone, you're willing to show someone like your genuine vulnerable nature. Like, if somebody, it's like, I had this conversation with fucking Chris D'Elia. We were talking about the same thing, where like he wanted to be like, fuck you, you made me feel like this because you know, he knew the situation deeper. He felt this way about another guy, another comedian, and he wanted to say, fuck you, you know, you're a piece of shit because you talk bad about me on the internet. And he's talking about how he went to therapy, and the guy was saying how, like, Chris was saying how the therapist was like, well, why do you want to say that? And he's like, well, because like you hurt my feelings. Ultimately, that's what he got down to. So then he wanted to say to the guy, obviously, fuck you, but he got to the point where he was going to say like, yo, you hurt my feelings. Mm-hmm. And like, it seems like the weak thing to do, but like it almost like you get the effect that you ultimately wanted was for the person just to understand. Mm-hmm. And that's where the true value comes in, right? Yeah. Is you being your genuine vulnerable self is allowing someone to really understand you. And if someone could truly understand you, then they can truly get to know you, and then they can love you, and then you can communicate properly, like through that, right? Yeah. Otherwise, like if I come at you, I'm like, fuck you, you're a bitch, blah, 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 is always met with friction.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same thing back.
Exactly.
I'm just going to give it back what you gave me.
But there is true strength in doing it in the way that you're speaking about doing it. And I think people listening should be encouraged to do that.